Hello, I'm Samantha Brunson, also known as Bobble Clubhouse. If this is your first time here, welcome. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. So today I'm going to be recapping my experience at H&H America's 2025. I'm going to be chatting about the good, the not so great, and the exciting news and announcements that came out of this year's show. Let's kick things off with the State of the Industry panel, which took place on Tuesday morning before the show floor officially opened to the public. This session is always one of the most anticipated panels at H&H, and this year they definitely delivered. It was hosted by Abby Glassenberg of the Craft Industry Alliance, and it featured a powerhouse panel including
Anna Maria Perry, Lucy McDermott, and Adam Blumenthal.
First up, they discussed the Joann's closures. Naturally, the conversation turned to how these closures are affecting the industry as a whole. Anna Maria was surprisingly optimistic, pointing out that local yarn shops can fill the gap by offering something big box stores just never could, and that's a connection to their customers. I agree. That kind of personal touch just can't be mass produced. It's really challenging to mass produce that. But Lucy took a different angle. She clarified that her customer base isn't the same customer as the Joann shopper. Joann's customers have been trained for years to look for deals, while her customers come in looking for quality over the lowest price. She welcomes everyone into her shop, of course, but she's also not chasing a race to the bottom pricing model. And honestly, I think this is a really smart play for local yarn shops in this next phase. Next, they discussed product diversification. Lucy shared how sewing machines have helped offset slower fabric sales at her shop, and Adam talked about Lion Brand's expansion through acquisitions like Quince & Co. and Silk City Fibers. But with that comes growing pains. Silk City, for instance, sells yarn on the cone and sells it by the pound and caters to weavers. Lion Brand sells balls of yarn and mostly caters to knitters and crocheters. This is a very different model. And it's a reminder that product expansion means that you'll also need to expand your knowledge base as the seller. Anna Maria emphasized that any new product you add has to feel authentic to you and your brand. Her shop is offering sewing classes, so selling the exact machines that they've been teaching these classes on just makes sense. If you don't have experience in-house, then you need to hire someone who does. In came a big one. They discussed tariffs. Jacob advised brands to move with a slow hand. Tariffs are shifting constantly, and overreacting could do more harm than good to your brand. Lucy added that her vendors are doing what they can to absorb the cost for the consumer, but she's also making sure that her customers understand why their prices are going to be going up in the next couple of months. Let's talk about trends. Jacob said part of their job at Lang is to create trends, not just to follow them. They rely heavily on color development and technology to steer the market in the direction that they need it to go in. Anna Maria has noticed a shift back towards garment making over quilting, which has been the trend for the last couple of years. She stressed the importance of carrying fabrics that can work across both disciplines, like 100% cotton, which is great for quilting, but can also make a lot of garments. Lucy pulls from fashion brands to help guide her shop's aesthetic. Talbot's for her older audience, Aritzia for the younger crowd. She also highlighted the importance of hiring a range of ages. Her younger staff really helps her to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to trends affecting young people. Adam, on the other hand, said that Lion Brand looks to their influencers and their designers to stay on trend. For them, it's a collaborative effort. When the conversation turned to the next generation of makers, Lucy said that younger customers can feel intimidated when walking into a yarn shop for the first time. So it's up to the shop owners to step off of their stools and make them feel welcome as they enter the shop. Adam echoed this same sentiment, and Anna Maria shared how her kid-friendly sewing circle has really helped her nurture the next generation and next wave of makers in her area. During the Q&A, 2 hot button topics came up. The first one was Made in America. The second was sustainability. Adam said that Lion Brand launched a farm to yarn line called Adam said that Lion Brand launched Locally Made, which is a made in the US yarn line, but demand has been slowly growing. Lucy added that while customers say that they want US made goods, they often balk at the price tag that comes with that. And Jacob raised an important point. We need to define what sustainability even means. Are we talking about carbon emissions, eco-friendly packaging, fiber content? This is a really big topic, and there's still a lot of educating to do on both the brand side and the consumer side when it comes to this issue. Ready to hit the show floor. Got my glasses, cable sweater. You can't see it, but cable sweater. Newsboy pants. I think that's what they are. My voice is completely gone from the summit yesterday. My sketchy walk over to get coffee. To go through a parking lot. But things we do for coffee. All right, let's switch gears and hit the show floor. If you're a designer, here's why H&H is worth your time. I highly recommend watching my video from last year to see how much the event has grown in just 12 months. And quick shout out to the few people that came up to me at H&H to say that they watched that video to make their decision about this year's travel. Thank you. It literally made my entire trip. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself over here. So hearing that made my whole day. I hope you had a fantastic time at H&H this year. The day before the floor opened officially, I hosted a few panels and workshops at the GoSadie Content Creators Summit. It was a dynamic space to meet brands, make some deals, and learn from other creators. The energy really was incredible. All right, now, are you thinking about attending H&H next year? Here are a few tips that I have for you to make sure that your trip goes perfectly. First of all, bring physical business cards. Yes, actual business cards. I saw so many designers skip this step. Mine have a QR code on it that links to my YouTube channel. Even if YouTube isn't my biggest platform, it gives brands a quick sense of my personality and content style. And also when they go there, I have a video queued up automatically playing, so it engages them right away. After the show, follow up fast. Brands are juggling a lot, so don't wait. Send a follow-up email right after the show and come to them with a plan of action to move forward. You can propose a project or a collaboration idea that makes it easy for them to say yes to working with you. Next, make sure you update your app profile. H&H uses an app for networking, and your info carries over from year to year. So go ahead, log in and update your photo, your bio, add any links that you might need to keep it fresh. And trust me, do this now. Future you will thank you. You can always log back in and change anything that has changed over the next 12 months, but at least you'll have a nice foundation. Next year, I recommend that you reach out in advance. About 1 to 2 months before next year's event, email your brand contacts and let them know that you will be at the show so that you can go ahead and book your meetings early and even just give them a heads up that you are in town and what you are looking to see from them. And remember, this show is primarily for retailers. So as a designer, you're there to learn, you're there to connect. You are not there to block yarn deals from happening. So be quick, be kind, and then step aside when the LYS owners come through. Please don't be a yarn block to these brands. Then there was an unexpected Bravolebrity moment. Craig Conover from Southern Charm, yes, the Pillow King himself, made an appearance on the main stage to announce that he is releasing a new fabric line with Robert Kaufman.
There's a lot of crafters and creators out there that want to make their own things. They love that we sell pillows and finished goods, but they want to make stuff with our designs themselves. And it's something that I've yelled nicely at Amanda, which I hate when people ask for stuff and we don't have it. And she's like, well, that's just not how businesses work. So we met Ken Kaufman a couple months ago, and we finally said it's time to launch a fabric line. So we're launching Sewing Down South Textiles here. We've got 20 SKUs of fabric, all inspired by Sewing Down South, which is all from my travels and places I've lived. We definitely lean into coastal living, coastal chic. It also fits into modern homes that want to add a little bit of personality, a little bit of color. And I'm just really excited about it. I've been on this quest the last 6 months learning how to quilt and learn new crafts, because the last few years I lost the reason why I got into sewing, and I was very operational and transactional. I really got into the business side of things, and that was really fun. But recently went through a breakup. And
honestly, this collaboration makes total sense. Fans have watched his sewing journey from the early seasons till now, and this feels like a really natural next step for his brand. I honestly just wish that Joann's Fabrics was still around to pick this line up, because their audience would have been all over a collaboration like this. So I'm very curious to see how a collaboration like this will be priced and how LYS owners will respond to it. Now let's talk some trends. Two major ones stood out, and they're the same as the ones from the discussion earlier: sustainability and recycled materials. This has been growing for a while, but it was everywhere this year. And the second one was made in the USA yarns. Lion Brand wasn't the only one who offered this selection. Kelborn Woolens branded their US-made yarns as tariff-proof when I was walking through, which I actually thought was a very clever marketing term that they were throwing out there. Expect to see more brands leaning into this as a marketing strategy, but also as a value statement and as a pricing strategy to balance out the changes that will be rolling in with tariffs. Craft diversity was stronger than ever. Punch needle, resin kits, garment sewing, buttons, beads. It felt like a celebration of all makers. The booths that stood out were the ones that got this memo from last year's show. One example is the brand The Redesigned Project. In my opinion, they're known for high-end knitting bags. This year, they also showcased a leather sewing machine case. It sent a clear message that they serve everyone. It was sleek, versatile, and a super smart move for the brand. If you're a designer who dabbles in multiple crafts, even if you only share one of those crafts publicly, I suggest that you walk the entire show floor. There is opportunity everywhere. Pitch yourself to brands in your niche, sure, but also prepare a secondary backup pitch for adjacent categories. For example, ask if they have beginner kits or learn to tools that you could help them promote as a beginner in this new craft. Now for some big news for 2026. H&H Americas is testing a consumer show the week before this trade event next year. It's going to overlap with Maryland Sheep and Wool, which, yikes. That's going to be a really tough scheduling conflict for yarn brands, but with H&H's broader product scope now, it might not matter. A consumer-focused fabric and craft show, that could fill a gap in the market that no one else is currently doing.
I just met the biggest celebrity of the show.
Okay, so not to end on some drama, but we do need to talk about the fashion show. I was backstage this year, and while the host was Austin of Knit the Rainbow, he was amazing. and the models were lovely. I was disappointed with how backstage was managed. For example, one of the younger models made a mistake in the lineup order. She was then yelled at in front of everyone. I believe she appeared to me like she was under 18, but she might have been just over. I'm old now, so everyone looks like a baby. Honestly, mistakes happen. It's a fashion show, but yelling, "I'm never hiring you again," in front of her peers and also potential clients is completely unprofessional. You can always handle these conversations after the show is over, or you can just not hire them again. So here are my suggestions to H&H to help this run smoother next year. 1, require brand reps to be with their collections backstage. You need at least one brand rep for each collection. 2, you need to hire more models for your show. Each model should only have 1 to 2 outfit changes tops. They should not be changing 3 to 4 times per show. 3, assign an H&H staff member to organize the looks at least 3 to 4 collections ahead of time. They should all be lined up, ready to go out onto the stage in groups of 3. You should not be lining people up just right before they're about to walk on stage. Lastly, you need to hire dressers. Models should not be responsible for styling themselves, especially since they don't knit or weave or quilt necessarily, and they're just meeting these garments for the first time a few hours before the show. To the models, I want to say that you were phenomenal. I saw how hard you were working and trying to keep this running smoothly, and I really hope that H&H ensures that everyone backstage going forward is treated with the same care, kindness, and respect that the front of the house receives. Overall, I had a fantastic time at this year's show. The show has really found its rhythm, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you were there and if you're planning to go next year, and if you're planning to go to the consumer show versus the trade show. I'd love to know. Before you go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that, I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye. Bye. Oh. Is that straw? Bye.